Welcome to my channel. This is going to be my first official YouTube video, so I thought I would start off with getting to know me with 15 random facts. Fact number 1 is my go-to every time someone asks for your name and a random fact, and this is that I have a black belt in Taekwondo. I started taking lessons when I was in first grade, I think, and continued on up until 7th grade. I have not attempted any sort of moves since then, but I was inspired to take Taekwondo by my complete obsession with the show Walker, Texas Ranger. So what else can you say about that, I guess? Okay. Fact number 2. I used to play clarinet. I started in 6th grade and went on all the way through sophomore year of college. I'm terrible at the clarinet. Flat out terrible. But that was where all my friends were, so that's why I keep doing it for so long. I keep wanting to pick up my clarinet and see if it would still be a fun hobby, but I'll do YouTube instead. Number 3, I am an occupational therapist as my career. I just started about a year ago after finishing graduate school, and I'm loving it so far. I work with kids with developmental disabilities, but there's a lot of different areas you can work in for occupational therapy. Now, if you don't know what this is, I have another video on this channel that I actually made for a class project, and that will hopefully tell you a little bit more about what we do. Number 4, the first YouTube channel I ever subscribed to was Tanya Burr, and I found her channel and the whole YouTube community really randomly. I did a Google search on how do I use dry shampoo, and a video that Tanya did with Tresemme actually was the first result, and from there I found all her beauty videos, all her blogs, and I just really fell in love. Number 5, when I was growing up, I had a pink striped bedroom. So double pink. Basically it looked like a Victoria's Secret bag turned on its side, so really overwhelming for the retinas. I don't know why my parents let me do that, except that they must really love me. So, thanks, Mom. Number 6. When I was a junior in high school, my church youth group took a trip to Germany, and while we were there, all of our breakfasts and all of our lunches were provided. Now, what we didn't know is I had just gotten my first debit card right before this trip, and it did not properly activate before we left. So at the last minute, my parents were dropping me off at the airport, and my dad just said, "Oh, here, take some cash just in case." Well, this cash was all the money I had for the whole trip. So about halfway through, I started living off ice cream cones for lunch. Now, it was just the cheapest thing I could get. Fact number 7. When I was a freshman in college, I went through 12 ID cards. Lost them in the most random ways. Sending it down my tray when I sent my dirty dishes back in the dining hall. I dropped one in the slat between my bed and the wall because the dorm I was in had built-in furniture. And lost one in a field stargazing randomly. So these ID cards were $10 to replace. That means in my freshman year alone, I spent $120 on ID cards. Number 8, I mostly don't wear deodorant. I used Degree for years, and suddenly my armpits decided they don't like it anymore and switched to natural deodorant, which barely works anyway. So I just don't wear it most days. Number 9, I have freakish facial recognition, like recall of facial memories of people I've met, to the point where before I started college, I was at orientation. We'll call it orientation, I don't know what it was, but I was taking a test to see which math course I should start off with. And the guy sitting across from me, before I went into the room, I looked up and I went, oh my gosh, we were in 4th grade together, and this kid did a report on beluga whales. You know, a lot of times it wouldn't be weird to recognize someone from 4th grade because you might have continued to go to school with them. No, like, I was in 4th grade with this guy, and then we moved, so I hadn't seen him for the last 10 years. I didn't say anything because that would have been weird. 10. After this, I'm going to have to come up with a different way because I don't have any more fingers. So, number 10 is that I remember my dreams almost every night, and I've been like that for as long as I can remember. They always just stick with me for some reason. Number 11, my most intense irrational fear is of pandemics. I am terrified of Ebola, the plague, the flu. I don't know what it is, but it's something that I'm really afraid of, but I also find really funny because I don't think that something like that will ever actually happen again in this day and age. Number 12, when I was really little, like probably 4th grade and before, I would make schedules for myself on the weekends of everything that I wanted to play minute by minute to make sure that I got in the most amount of fun that I could. Number 13 is that I can very rarely stay awake through a full movie in one night. To the point that my best friend and I tried to watch The Mummy probably 5 times in high school, and to this day I've never seen the whole movie. 14. I have very strong feelings about homemade Halloween costumes. Whatever you're making costumes for, I just think they gotta be homemade. None of that store-bought stuff. I love just finding ideas using things either you already have or if you have to buy the supplies and make it, which is silly because at that point, why don't you just buy the costume? But to me, there's something fun and creative about making your own costumes. Number 15. When I was in 7th grade, I wore my hair in a ponytail to school every single day of the year. This was when my brothers had just started high school or were later on in high school, and my mom didn't have time in the morning to help me get ready, or I just decided I wanted to be independent and do it myself. But all I knew how to do with my hair was a ponytail, so that's what I did every single day. Thanks for watching. That was 15 random facts about me. Hope you enjoyed it and give it a thumbs up if you did. I'll see you back here in a week for my next video.